Welcome to the Startempire Wire Founders Podcast, where we make entrepreneurial founders a top priority. Each episode features risk takers, business builders, community shapers, institutional and government supporters in our local startup ecosystem. Tune in weekly to hear all about what's happening with the movers and the shakers of Southern California's Inland Empire and beyond. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Founders Podcast. Today we are here with Jan Steiner. And Jan Steiner is absolute gem to the Inland Empire, and she will tell us about herself. You see Make Dust in the background. She's going to give us a little bit more information about what that is. But first, she's going to tell us who she is and what she does. Ready? Jan, tell us who are you and what you do.
Okay, Jan Steiner here, and I took over my dad's manufacturing company many years ago, 1982. Yeah. And from there, I was able to buy out my dad's shareholders after my dad passed away and move the company forward. And so in 1990, we actually moved to Corona, and that was when we moved to the Inland Empire. And it was a really great move. A lot of our employees had already moved there, and it was a lot less expensive than Anaheim was where we were before.
Okay.
And so we manufactured folding cartons. The company name was Thoro Packaging. And we made these candy boxes, and we made boxes like this.
That's beautiful.
A really nice way for our customers to present their products in the best light. And that's what we did.
Okay, so when you transitioned from that, you went into Make Dust, and what does that include? Tell us the story behind that.
Make Dust. I had an employee that had moved to Oregon, and she saw this poster, and this poster had these cowboys charging over this hill. And it said, "If you don't make dust, you eat dust." And she said, "That's Jan." And so she sent it to me, and it's true, because if you don't make dust, you eat dust. Wow. So how to be a leader, how to stay a leader, how to be that leader in the pack. Yes. And that was one of the things I really focus on at Thoro Packaging, is being a leader.
Yes.
Being the leader in the industry for our customers and our employees.
So now with Thoro Packaging, did you sell the company?
I did.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, I ran it I was president and CEO for 36 years.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it. I totally enjoyed it. Well, most all days, as any CEO knows, there are days. Right. I enjoyed it very much. It's a very capital intensive business, and we needed to purchase some more equipment to stay that leader. And I felt we needed about $10 million worth of more equipment.
Wow.
And I didn't want to, at my age and such, sign on the line for that much.
Right.
My last printing press was a little over $5 million. And when I say that the day I signed the purchase order is the day my deodorant quit. I was so nervous signing that $5 million, for a piece of equipment.
Yes.
But it was the right thing. It was a gamble. But it's a gamble that we, like going to Las Vegas, will I gamble? No.
Yeah.
But to gambling my own business.
Yes.
Where it's a good calculation, calculated risk, and you're all in, you're in behind it with your team.
Yes.
Then yes.
Wow.
But this last bit, it was time to sell.
Yeah, that's that. So that makes, I've never been through an acquisition or anything like that, but to hear the experience of it, I could understand why you might have been a little bit nervous. So, so tell us, do you have any dealings at all with the company? I know it's kind of like something you said no, huh?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. There's really no dealings. I am in touch. I do get to go and tour the facility once in a while and see the people. Which to me is really great.
Nostalgic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So what is Jan up to these days? What's the new thing?
Okay, so I have Make Dust,
Yes.
where I do some speaking and I'm doing some mentoring. I
Mentoring. Yes.
primarily mentor to women. I do have a gentleman
Excellent.
who I mentor with, who is in the sales field, and sometimes it's just nice to have somebody to bounce some ideas off of.
Right.
And one of the things, when I took over the business in 1982, there were no women doing what I was doing.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, it was really difficult in many respects because people would look at me and they go, well, really, who's making the decisions behind you? Who is that? Who is that? And it was me.
Right.
So there was some definite challenges. And I went to a trade group one time with other people in our industry, and they were all guys there. And one of the guys said to me, "What are you doing here?"
Ooh.
And so I left there and I said, I'm going to prove to them that a girl can do it.
Come on.
And I did. And that was my driver. In all honesty, it was my driver. So one of the things I want to do is be able to help encourage other, particularly women in business, because women, we do look at business a little bit differently than you guys do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I believe that.
And so sometimes we have to say, okay, no, let's look at it like a guy would look at it and move forward.
So tell us, you said you inherited an opportunity.
Yes.
And you grew it. So tell us about that. It's a pretty awesome thing right there. How you grew the opportunity.
Yes, it was quite different, interesting, all of the above. As I was doing that, I was like a less than 5% shareholder when I took over, and I was able to buy out all my dad's partners, and then I was also able to buy out my mom after my dad passed away.
Very awesome.
And it was especially in a capital intensive business. So I lived conservatively. I always have. My dad was a tradesman, and so we always lived conservatively, and that has proven very, very well in my life.
Yes.
So and through that I was able to acquire the rest of the shares and then be able to continue on with the business. I learned so many lessons about cash because I helped my dad right from the very beginning. And the reason I got my original shares was one time I was doing the books for my dad. And after I completed Accounting 101 at Fullerton Junior College, he said, okay, now you can do my books. It took me hours. And I think he gave me a check for $10. And he said, don't cash it because there's no money. He was right. I knew that.
Yes.
So one time I actually went to the bank, and I was always a saver. And I took out my savings account and I closed it and I took it to my dad and I said, here, now we can make payroll.
Wow.
And my dad almost cried.
Wow. And
so he then gave me some shares when he was issuing some of those shares for somebody else. And that's how I got my stock.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah.
It was my dad's dream to always have his own company. And I wanted to help as much as I could to make that reality possible. It was very difficult for my dad in many respects because he didn't know that much about the industry that he landed up starting this business in. But he worked very hard. I said that he's a very stubborn, hard-headed Polak and bound and determined to follow it through. And I was bound and determined to help him as best I could. So
wow. The Inland Empire startup ecosystem industry is tremendously fragmented. A few top-tier hubs, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego, are well covered by media, events, and data platforms. Finding reliable information relevant to startups or the tech industry in the Inland Empire is extremely difficult. As a result, startups can't scale fast enough. Investors are having a hard time finding the right deals, and corporates can't find the right companies to partner with for their innovation activities. Startempire Wire, the leading Inland Empire startup publication, is providing the Inland Empire startup ecosystem with the most accurate, engaging business and financial data, events, and news. Our reach of entrepreneurs, C-level executives, angels, VC investors, startup employees, key management at innovative corporates, and big tech is the solution for your B2B or B2C needs. As we build out our platform, we're looking for partners. This is your opportunity to get in on the ground level. If you're looking to align yourself with the local and growing startup and tech ecosystem of the Inland Empire, we have created the platform to get your name noticed and the opportunity for you to grow the recognition of your brand. Contact us today for availability and pricing options. We look forward to our partnership with you. Okay, so that parlayed into the trades. What's
Right.
going on there? Yes.
Now my big passion is trades, and I came up with this Tradeworks USA. Not all high schoolers are geared for a four-year college.
Okay.
And there are so many trades out there. And
Yes.
printing happens to be one of them. And so I'm partial to printing because that's where we were in the printing trade. And there's so many people that can do so well without having a four-year college education. They can go to a trade school. They can take some classes in the evening. They can take some online classes and learn some basic things.
Okay.
Because you're doing classes on web development too?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Web development falls directly in the line with the trades, and
Sure.
we train people for web development at our WordPress meetups for free. And I've actually mentored people who, like, one of the guys who I mentored works for the city of Riverside. One of the guys who I mentored went and worked for Square, or that big company Square. Like, there's different people who have come through our meetup group and they've gone off and been successful, or I was just one-on-one working with them and teaching them the skill. Trades are amazing. I don't know why people don't pick up the trades. Instead, go to college.
That's what we need to do. Okay, that's what I really believe we need to. For some reason, other people or the schools are saying you have to go to college. You have to go to college.
Yes.
You don't have to go to college. You can, if you
Preach.
have to drive.
Yes.
You can make things happen, and you can find other ways of learning. Probably some of the things that you're learning, I'll be honest, is probably better than you're getting. Somebody's paying a lot of money at a college.
Well, let me give you my testimony, Jan, because I went to a four-year college, got my bachelor's degree, and what I found out after going to college, and I during the time where I was in college, I ended up, and a lot of people are not going to believe this, but I failed a web development class. Okay, but that gave me motivation. That gave me motivation. I failed it the first time. It gave me motivation to go back, read the book all the way through. And you know what I found out, Jan? This is what I found out. My teacher didn't know web development. I went in and learned it and really taught myself, but the same teacher that failed me, the grade was 70% these message boards. It had nothing to do with web development. You had to just be on these message boards. I didn't want to be on a message board. And it was just like a class activity. But because I was never on the message boards, I got failed. And so when I went through and learned web development, I remember the moment came where I was stuck at a problem. And I asked my teacher, hey, do you know what this is? Or do you know how to do this? She couldn't tell me. And it was just like, okay, I had surpassed my teacher. And then this is crazy. My entire class, okay, they recognized, I had learned this really well. And my teacher put me at the head of a class project, and they ended up allowing me to teach classes in the college. Like, I taught 4 out of 10 classes that semester. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, all that to say is the skills that I learned them by reading the book and doing the homework. I didn't learn them by being on a message board or even being in class, you know? And so college, I look back now and I say, well, it was a great experience, but people don't need to go to college to get the learning to be effective and offer professional service in the real world.
Absolutely.
For certain trades, you know.
Well, no, if you're going to go to be a doctor, you best go to college.
Right. Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And go to medical school and all those things. But yeah, there are certain that you don't. You want your CPA, you want them to have gone to college. And they're
right.
I'm not saying that there isn't value to college, because there is for so many industries and trades and professions, law, CPA, doctors,
yes.
To become an educator. However, there's also the practical side of things.
Right.
And
right.
There's, auto mechanics, HVAC, carpentry, electricians, again, the printing. So that's
yes.
what I'm so excited about, being able to come up with a way to be able to present to the high schoolers that there's so many opportunities out there.
Yes.
And, when they say you don't know what you don't know,
yes.
I don't know how to get this out there. I don't know what words I need to use and who I need to get with
yes.
in the world to be able to present something so that it makes sense to a lot of people.
Right.
And that's where I've been stumbling on right now. I've been meeting a lot of people, and I've been doing my research, which is all great and it's good. And all of a sudden that will all come together and mesh.
Yes.
But
yes.
right now we're still working on it.
Okay. Well, so Tradeworks, your main thing right now is Tradeworks, and you're connecting high schoolers, or you're connecting into the high schools to teach high schoolers about trades as an opportunity instead of having to go to college, right?
Well, that's my goal.
That's your goal. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but that's
okay.
my goal. I am excited about Riverside Community College.
Okay, tell us about that. What happened?
Well, they have a printing department, the graphics and printing, and they have a director over there of the program who is really on top of things and pretty progressive and really great. They had two very, very old printing presses that they couldn't get parts for.
Yes.
And I was connected with them, and I am in partnership with Heidelberg. Heidelberg is a printing press manufacturer in Germany.
Wow.
We are donating a press to Riverside Community College, and it'll be coming in the next couple of months. It's in the piece of equipment is being manufactured now, and it will be dedicated in the name of my mom and dad. My dad was a tradesman.
Yeah.
And after selling the company, this gives me the opportunity to give back to the industry, to the world that was good to me. And I want to be able to add that to the world.
That's huge. So the students at Riverside Community College will be able to access that and use it. That's really huge. I mean, so I was a graphic design student. Went into web design. That's what they teach.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I went into web design because I was more interested in web development, you know. And so we only had one class in web development. I probably could have went to, take computer science as my major, but I ended up not doing that. I ended up getting my own computer science degree after self-study, but so as a graphic designer, the print material, and that was big in my world as well, and my final portfolio was a printed piece. It was a printed book that I put together. And so I love the printing part of it, and just imagining having access to such high quality equipment, man, that would have been a game changer during my time as a student.
Well, because so many people have said to me, and young people have said, "Oh, printing is dead. Printing is dead." Well, maybe newspapers are going this way.
Right.
Go into the grocery store.
Yep.
If all of those cereal boxes were just plain white boxes. You wouldn't know which was Cheerios, which was Wheaties, and Cocoa Puffs, and all
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
All
printing
that
will
is
never
printed.
go away. Yeah.
And look how so much of that is done here in the United States. People are saying it's done offshore. No, it's being done here.
Here.
For the medical pharmaceutical, you go into a drugstore,
Yes.
all the labeling, they call it labeling. For them, they call it labeling. The box is considered labeling.
Okay.
But all of that is printed.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's a really, really good trade. And
Yes. Yep.
there's such a good future for somebody that comes along. They start out at the beginning. They start out as maybe a feeder to the press,
Right.
and then they can move up to second pressman, and then and be the first pressman. And that's what we did at Thoro Packaging. So many of these people,
Wow.
they came in as entry level.
Okay.
And so if they could come in, if we have people that can come in with a little bit of knowledge,
Right.
that would be very, very helpful for them to be able to progress up further. So being able to print CMYK, and obvious coding and all that, that's what this press is going to be. It's a 4-color with a coater. So CMYK and a varnish coat. So
wow, I envy the Riverside Community College students.
I know
That's going to be
it's
great.
Be really exciting. I'm really excited. And it gets better.
Okay.
Heidelberg, who we're partnering with,
Yes.
has said that they are it's going to be announced in the middle of this month, the middle of October.
Yes.
They are putting together a scholarship.
Oh, what?
The scholarship program for the printing students.
Wow.
I know.
Well, what kind of scholarship? Did they mention anything of the parameters or no?
Well, you have to have a certain grade point average, and I didn't get into too much of the detail because the school already has some requirements for that.
Right.
And you have to be a printing major.
Have to be a printing major. Yes.
And they're going to be offering, I think it's 5 $1,000 scholarships a year.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
For a period of 5 years.
Wow.
So, I know. Is that like super exciting?
Yeah, no, that is huge.
Yes. So my big challenge now is that this is a sizable investment that I'm making into the school, into the future for the youth. That's why I thought this is, and California requires us to pay sales tax on this piece of equipment, which I think is ludicrous because it's going for an educational purpose.
Yeah, it's being donated. Yeah.
I know. And the sales tax is a little over $60,000.
My goodness.
I would rather take that money and buy the students a supplemental piece of equipment. And I already know what it would be.
Right.
And I talked it over with the professor, Patrick Scullin, and we're all in agreement, except I have this hurdle that money has to go to sales tax, which is already, the school is already a state school.
Right.
Why does the state school have to pay sales tax? I don't know.
No, it doesn't make sense. Maybe someone who is, maybe a CPA or good with taxes is watching this interview and they can contact you. That would be great. So if you're watching this interview and you know how to help Jan get around that hurdle, if she hasn't by the time you see this interview, just contact her directly and we'll give all of the contact information at the end of the interview. Okay, so that's a big growing pain. That's a big hurdle. Tell us a little bit about, with Tradeworks, where you have where you're at right now. You told us you got the idea, but what have you done through Tradeworks so far, and also in the area of mentoring? How much of that are you doing currently today?
Well, the mentoring I'm doing really isn't through Tradeworks. It's
okay.
More through the pulp and paper industry, the printing industry.
Okay.
And so I can help people that have that are in the industry, because I have some knowledge.
Yes.
Small, but I have some knowledge in the different portions of that. But I'm also a mentor for somebody that's right out of the foster care program. So
Oh, wow.
I know
That's great. No, that's great.
Yes, it is. It is. It's a delightful young woman, and I can't be happier than to help her. So with Tradeworks, again, I'm just in the beginning stages of doing all this and putting it together. So I really can't say I've accomplished a lot.
Okay.
Except I have met some other people. I have made some connections. I'm not the connector that you are, but I have made some connections.
Oh, that's great.
So that people are being able to work together and getting some great programs started in other areas. One is in North Carolina, actually.
Oh,
what
wow.
they're doing with their printing department.
Well,
So
I was going to say, so I know some people who would definitely benefit from your knowledge and maybe be a good connection in general, because you're really focused on like the kind of like that transition out of high school into the professional world. There's a lady by the name of Lisa Kiplinger Kennedy, and shout out to her if she's watching this interview, but she's over, like, I think she does something with California community colleges, but she'd be a great connection for you. All of the community colleges here in Southern California. So she'd be a great connection for you. That'd be amazing.
Well, they are in the Inland Empire. They're recently just got a big donation or amount given from the state to put together a trade program. And I think it's in Harupa Valley.
Okay.
But I don't know enough about it. But this press will be at Riverside Community College. And
Riverside Community College.
We'll have a ribbon cutting or something when the time comes, which will be quite fun.
Yeah, it's it'd be nice to get, if you guys have a press release or something and you want to shoot it to Startempire Wire, we could publish an article on the website. Make note of that, because we put out press releases for different things that are happening in our community. And the goal is really just to keep people informed and to connect people. So that falls directly into what we're trying to do. So we would love to help you get the word out as well. All right. So
one of the things that I think you're looking for sponsors down the line, and I would like, Heidelberg is doing this. Our industry, the printing industry, says they need people. Okay, so who can come up to the table and do a scholarship or do sponsor maybe some equipment or some supplies?
Right.
Who can help feed this?
Yes.
Who can help feed this and make it even better?
Yes.
Because the press is one piece of it, and now we have a scholarship, but let's see what else we can do. Let's not stop there.
Right. How can you make it the best it can be?
How can we make it the best it can be? Exactly. So, it's very exciting.
If I come up with more ideas, I'm pretty creative, but if I come up with more ideas, I'll try to throw them your way. So,
okay.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay. So tell us, right now you're doing the Tradeworks. What are you looking at? What's probably the next, in the next 2 months, what are you trying to accomplish through Tradeworks? I know you have Make Dust, which is a saying. Is that part of Tradeworks? Is it right now? That's just kind of a good saying right there, huh?
Yes.
And it's kind of like your tagline, for who you are. Okay.
Yes.
So that does apply to Tradeworks, but not directly, just indirectly, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So the next 2 months, what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, we'll be getting ready to get that press in.
Okay.
And now that Heidelberg is offering to do a scholarship, being able to ask some of the suppliers, can you help provide some ink? Can you help provide some paper?
Yes.
Those type of things, so that we can do that. Can we have somebody that can tell us how to get around that $61,000 of sales tax, so we can buy something else for the students? This is for the students,
It's for the
this is for
students.
the students.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
have a big surplus in the state. So let the students have that money.
Please.
Um,
Yes.
please. Exactly. Exactly. So within the next couple months, that's exactly what I'd like to do. And then we're going to be having the ribbon cutting when it comes in and gets up and going. So the press releases definitely. Let's get RCC more on the map for
Yes.
trade, because they have a lot of trade programs.
Okay.
And this is just one.
This is one.
And
Okay.
This is one. So there's so many. And I think it could help RCC in general to be like, wow, look what's going on there. You know
Right.
that the printing department is 100 years old this year.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
100 years
amazing.
old.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, so it's a 100-year anniversary, and now they're going to get this new piece of equipment, and then they're of course they're spiffying up. Of course, anytime we got a new piece of equipment, it was a good opportunity to spiffy up the place.
Yes.
That's professional term, right? Spiffying up.
Spiffying up. Yeah, and they should have a launch party or something there whenever, the donation happens to bring some more attention. That would be cool.
Yes, yes. So that's what I'd like to see over the next couple of months.
Next couple of months. Okay. All right.
This has been a 2-year project.
This is, oh, wow. So landing the printer and coordinating with RCC, coordinating with Heidelberg, all of this has happened over the last 2 years.
Yes, and with the college.
And with the college.
Part. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is the culmination. And you say, when is it all going to be finalized? Do you know?
I think that the press will be shipping later on this month or beginning of November.
Okay.
Shipping from Germany.
Wow, that is so cool. I need to come down and look at this press because it's pretty,
yes, you do.
Yeah, it's exciting to me. I really am a printing geek, and when you show me the packaging that you show me, I'm like, that's beautiful, because I know what it takes to design that. I may not know all the printing aspects of it, but I know design wise, and then what's really exciting as a designer, the print designer in me, which, what's really exciting is seeing it come to life,
Yes. Well, what we also have is structural designers. And
Yeah.
that's the piece of equipment that I want to get to them is a cutting table.
Cutting table.
So that they
Ooh.
can design it. You would structurally design it on your CAD system.
CAD system. Okay.
And then you would cut it out and see if it works.
If it works, yes.
Because it's all dimensional.
Yeah,
So
I
then
love
you
it.
have to see if it works. And that's the equipment that I want to get to them. And RCC has already, there's the Printing Industry of America, Southern California division.
Okay.
And they, RCC already has a design competition that they send into there, and they have won some recognition. And if they had the printing press, and 2, being able to cut it out on a CAD table, would make it would take these students to the next level.
Because they see the whole process.
Yes.
I know a lot of students. I don't know many students who have that full opportunity, and that would be big. That would be huge.
I know.
Yeah.
So let's get that $61,000.
Yes.
To buy that. And I don't think it costs that much, but I said, my thing is that whatever difference it is, or I'll donate it to the school or what have you, just so that they can. We don't have to pay the sales tax. Okay.
Yes.
I'm passionate about that.
I know. Okay, so tell us about the future goals. Tradeworks, where do you see it going in the next 3 years, the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? How do you project that?
Well, I really want to be able to develop a program that we get to the high schools.
Okay.
And talk to them about the possibilities of what we can do with trades.
Okay.
And have the perception that trades are wonderful. Trades are great.
Yes.
I mean, that's what my dad was, a tradesman.
Yes.
And it provided for our family.
Yeah.
Well. And so and it does for, I know all the people that work over at Thoro Packaging. You know, a lot of them have really taken up a good trade, and it has really done a lot for them. Now, I'm going to just blow your mind. This is one of the boxes that we did for a promotional.
Wow.
And so you open it up like this, and then you open it up like this.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You know, and this is what,
that's
they have they had Abba Zabbas in here, but somebody must have eaten them.
I don't know who that could have been.
I love Abba Zabbas. Anyway, but this is the type of thing with the being able to have a sample table that they can really practice and do those type of things. So this is cool. And so I loved what we were doing, and I love what we did for our customers. And I just think that being able to present that to the high schoolers, that they can actually have a good trade, because I don't even think that a lot of them realize that printing is a trade.
They don't. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of high schoolers understand what trades are. You know, they just know, okay, go to high school, go to college, and then, you know, what's
pay your debt over all the years.
Yeah. Or, you know, like it's pretty unfortunate, but I really believe that we need more apprenticeships. Yes. I think that's the formal way to say it, right? Apprenticeships. It's not an internship, but you're on a one track in some type of trade, and you are learning to earn, and then you can take off on your own. Like my last name is Smith, you know, and originally that comes from the blacksmith, you know, and it's a huge trade, you know. Used to be a huge trade back in the day. It still is today. But, you know, if you were to become a blacksmith back in the day, you needed to go through an apprenticeship with another more experienced blacksmith. And then you become a journeyman. And then you go through all of the stages under the mentorship of this person who is this professional already in their trade. And that would be ideal. I think we need more of those. So is that something you're aiming to facilitate, Jan?
I would love to see that. Yes. You know, another good trade like that is welding.
Welding. It is such a needed trade.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And it make a lot of money. I have a friend who's a welder.
Yeah, they make decent money.
Yeah. And
they didn't have to spend bukus bucks.
Yes, exactly.
They had to learn it though, through a trade school or as an apprentice for somebody.
I do think the perception of the trades need to be boosted. So people don't look, you know, down upon the trades. They see them in a light that, wow, this is valuable. This is something I need. This would be a smart move for me, because it really is a smart move, you know?
It is. It is. And it's going to stay here in the United States.
It's got to stay here.
Yes. Guy, if you need these people, the electrician, you know?
Yes.
It's right here. It's right here.
Okay. So 5 years, where do you see Tradeworks being in 5 years, Jan?
Oh, I would really like to see it be, pretty much nationwide in the high school.
Okay. And then 10 years.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be old then, you know?
You're still in the game.
Still in the game. Yes. And again, keeping moving forward by encouraging the trades.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Jan, I really appreciate you for coming on to the Founders Podcast. Where can people find you? Like, how do they get in contact with you? Let's just say, you know, they want to help you figure out some, you know, clever way to deal with that sales tax issue, or they got a connection. They're a good connection for what you're doing with Tradeworks, or they want to. I don't know if you're accepting new mentees. You know. You might vet them accordingly, but how do they get in contact with you?
Okay, LinkedIn is a good way. And
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm under Jan Steiner or Janet Steiner. If you could list both
Okay. Okay.
there, so we could find out. They can find me on
We'll
LinkedIn.
list it in. We'll list it in your podcast description. Do you have a website or anything else?
Yes, I do, and it's under Make Dust.
Make Dust.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Great.
Make Dust. Yeah, and Instagram. I'm on Instagram too.
On Instagram as well. Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to reach out to Jan, then we're going to put her information in the description of this podcast, and you'll be able to contact her directly on LinkedIn. Like she said, she also, has the website, and she's on Instagram, so follow her on Instagram as well. Jan, any final advice that you would give to a business owner watching this podcast? What would be your final piece of advice?
Oh, being a business owner is so multidimensional.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's never boring.
Yes.
And sometimes you just need to take a deep breath.
Awesome.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. That's a good one.
Don't forget to breathe. And I will give you my cell phone. I know somebody else has done that on your podcast before.
Okay, so go ahead. Give it out. Tell them.
Okay.
What is it?
It's 714
714
323
323
2375.
2375.
I
All right,
know
so
it's
she's
Orange
giving
County
away.
number.
Very, very brave people here on the Founders Podcast. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I appreciate you for coming on, and contact her. Text message her. Do you want them to text message you, Jan?
You can. Yeah. They can. That's great.
Okay, send a text message to her. Contact her on LinkedIn. Any of the above. Once again, thank you, Jan, for coming on the Founders Podcast.
Welcome. I've enjoyed this. You're great.
And
I love what you're doing.
thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you, if you haven't liked this video and you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and click the like button. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell so you get notified. We publish these podcasts twice a week, every Tuesday and every Thursday. Don't miss out. And thanks for listening.
Go out there and make dust.
Go out there and make dust or eat dust, right?
Right.
But make dust. Don't eat dust. Just make dust.
Just make dust.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone, have a great day. Peace.
Okay. Mm-hmm.